Hey guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's build, we are renovating the blue velvet. That is the bar, or is it a lounge? I feel like it's a bar, but it looks kind of like a lounge. Like it's decorated a little bit like a lounge, but we're gonna say it's a bar in what I would consider downtown Willow Creek. It's a really cute setup, and to be honest, if you guys have been watching some of my past Fixing Willow Creek videos, then you know that I've mentioned that Willow Creek and just a lot of base game worlds in general need a lot of help when it comes to some of their lots, whether it's community or residential. Okay, can you not be, walking around in here? Thank you. But I felt that the blue velvet specifically didn't really need much help. So as you can see, we're kind of fixing up the outside a little bit. We're changing some swatches. I think, did I leave the pillars, or I changed the pillars out for different ones? But obviously, again, everything is base game. But I do change up the more like green swatches of like all the details, like the shutters, the columns, the fencing, and the stairs, which the stairs don't make any sense to me whatsoever, so I just deleted them all together. Changed that. I do end up changing toward the end of the build. I changed the color of the fences that are outside, like in the little kind of like courtyard area. I change it to a white swatch, and then I switch up the color of the gate that has a blue on it to kind of tie in the blue with the rest of the exterior. But other than that, I didn't really touch the outside. I didn't mess with flooring. I think I added like a light to the back patio area because it didn't have one, so I felt like at night it would be rather dark. And personally, if I lived in this world, I would want to come here at night because it just seems like a really cool, like, I don't know, jazzy style place. I think that's kind of what the point of this place is. So I left it very themed, very jazz themed. So as you can see, I'm adding these really cool, really tall paintings here on the wall, and I leave the piano and the microphone exactly where they are. I do actually end up changing the blue in here to a more muted blue because this blue was just a little bit too much for me. And I did like the idea of all the lighting in here being more of this red tone. So I do switch all of the lights over to a red tone. I just felt that whether it is indeed a bar or a lounge, it just kind of made sense. It gives it like that nighttime vibe. It would be a really cool place to go at night, which I prefer to go to a bar at night. Unless it's like some kind of day drinking thing. But that is neither here nor there because this is in Willow Creek, and unfortunately, I can't go to Willow Creek and hang out. So anyway, I did want to preface really quickly though, if I sound a little stuffy or my voice sounds a little, I don't even know. My throat is so dry. I just got over having a cold. I am still getting over it. I'm definitely feeling better. I don't really need to be taking much medicine anymore because I don't feel sick anymore. Other than my throat is just so dry. It's not sore, it's just dry and it itches. So I'm like coughing off and on, but it's mostly just to like itch my throat. There's no other good way to really itch my throat unless I take a cough drop or something. So, excuse me, oh my gosh. And now I'm like, okay, now like acid reflux. So that's really cool. But anyway, I'm good. I'm getting over it. I think I got it from my husband. Other than that, we have no idea where he got sick because we didn't know anyone else that was sick. So it really could have been anyone. And the flu, or I mean the cold, well, and probably the flu. And of course, COVID is totally going around right now. Fortunately, I don't think that's what we have. And we've been home anyway, so I think we're good there. But anyway, let's get back into the build. So I do end up placing some different tables and chairs in here. As you can see, I sectioned off that whole area. And of course, any sim can walk into there. It's not like an exclusive area, but I wanted it to kind of look like it would be exclusive. There's no bouncer or anything preventing any sims from getting in there. Like, this is not one of those places where you have to be like famous and have, a ton of like influence or anything in order to get over there. But I like when I go to bars that have some sort of like lounge area. To be honest, it does kind of gross me out. Even before COVID and all that, it definitely was kind of like weird to think that there's like couches. Like, I don't know. It's like odd. It's like, do they even clean that? You know what I mean? But I think it kind of added to the whole vibe here. Like I said, this is a very like jazzy kind of, I mean, it's not a dive bar. It's definitely a lot nicer than that. So I wouldn't be surprised if it actually is considered a lounge, but Anyway, I thought it was nice, so I wanted to add that, and I wanted to keep the theme, excuse me, I wanted to keep the theme. Oh my gosh, literally, can I do this voiceover like between having to like stop the recording to like cough and drink something, and then now I'm like burping because I'm drinking like a seltzer, like, oh my god. I mean, it's not alcoholic, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. So as you can see, we just changed over the swatches of the bar top in the bar area and also the bar stools. I just changed them over, and everything actually is pretty matchy here. I was rather surprised because I don't often stick to base game items. Of course, this is all base game because we're working in Willow Creek, and say you only had base game, then this will be totally accessible to you. It's not going to be hard to switch out items and clutter and all that stuff. Like, you're not going to have random items that don't totally make sense where they go. So if you've ever downloaded builds like that, you know what I'm talking about. But now we're just switching up the flooring. I ended up switching it out for this nice, it almost reminds me of like a parquet floor, but it's this herringbone style hardwood floor. I felt like it really went with the whole vibe here with the color scheme. Everything's a bit dark. There's a lot of cool tones here, but it's still a warm setting as well. I did also just extend the upstairs loft area. I do end up placing, I think, 3 card tables. So your Sims can come up here, play cards. The lighting up here is a little bit brighter right above the tables, but everywhere else, all the lights are still rather red, except for in the bathrooms. I think I left the lights just like as is. I do change up the bathrooms just a tad. I think I add some more brick wall in there, but I do leave it like this blue. Well, I changed the blue over to the more muted blue that I was talking about earlier. Change the flooring. I keep the toilet and I keep the light, but I get rid of this sink and mirror, and I switch it out for some actual like countertop sinks. I feel like when you go to bars, it's a little mix of both, kind of depending on the kind of bar you're at. I feel like if it's a more old style, kind of like this place specifically, you will have more of that standalone sink, but I felt that the bathrooms were kind of big for just a standalone sink and then just a toilet. I was considering making these bathrooms have almost like a stall. Of course, we don't have stalls in base game, but I was just going to kind of like create my own with some walls, but I decided not to do that. So I just ended up using this counter here, and I didn't necessarily feel the need to make the bathroom any smaller because then it would just make the upstairs even bigger, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the upstairs at this point. So I think I mentioned earlier, I do add in some couches upstairs, a nice large rug, a couple of standing lamps, and then, like I said, I place the card tables as well. So this is a nice little area for people to maybe still be able to hear the music because it is a lofted area. So realistically, the music you can still totally hear. And you can still see, you know, if there's a comedian or a singer or a pianist playing downstairs, you can still totally see it from the card tables. And if you're sitting on these couches, which end up going right around this area, well, in the bigger area near the stairs, you can still hear the music, but you're further away. It's not so loud. Maybe you can have some privacy up there with like a date or, you know, a little get together with friends or whatever. And then I do end up placing some more chairs outside, just in like the back courtyard area. I feel like it's really nice when you go to a bar setting or some kind of setting where, you know, there's drinking and stuff. It is nice to be able to step outside, get some fresh air, get away from the chaos, and just kind of be able to, sorry, oh my gosh. I'm trying to get through this voiceover. We're almost there. But yeah, we actually are almost done with the build. So I feel like I should kind of start wrapping it up. So I thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. I really apologize if this voiceover was kind of all over the place. I had to stop recording a lot and just get some water and throw in a cough drop, and just there were a lot of disruptions with my pets, and just it was just not meant to happen apparently, but we made it work. So anyway, I hope you guys stick around for the screenshots. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram. My name is ashleyyangelinaa with 2 Y's and 2 A's at the end of Angelina. And make sure to go over to the gallery if you want to download the version of the Blue Velvet, or this version of the Blue Velvet over there. You can find it under my hashtag ashleyyangelinaa with 2 Y's and 2 A's at the end of Angelina. That is also my name on the EA gallery. And if you want to follow me over on Twitter, I've actually been slacking on that quite a bit recently, but you can follow me over there as well. My name is ashleyyangelinaa with 2 Y's and 1 A at the end of Angelina. And I hope to see you guys in a future build, and I hope you all have a great new year, and I will see you in 2022. Oh my God. Okay, guys, bye.
Tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time. It's clear to see from up here. The world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth.
So, okay, like, I don't need you in here supervising me. You're just making lots of noise. So, sorry if you hear the dog in the background. He's just walking around and you can hear his tippy tappies. But anyway, we're back into the bar area now, just kind of fixing up the flooring. The flooring was just kind of like whatever. And I felt that this flooring, it's kind of like a herringbone style. Stop it now. You're making me angry.
Forever.